Reese Janek. How are you doing today?
Good.
Did you make it in okay last night?
That Chip McCampbell.
Oh, I'm Reese Janek. Nice to meet you.
man.
Is it all right to sit down?
Yeah, please.
I'd like to give you my business card first in case you need to get in contact with me after today.
Thank you.
So, how'd you make it in all right last night?
Yeah, it was a long drive, but it worked out well.
How long are you here for?
Just until tomorrow evening, and then I've got to get back.
Oh.
So yeah, but I'm flying back. So
You sound like a busy person, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
you're good. You're good.
When it comes to buying a product, do you tend to make decisions based off economic, business,
Yeah.
or relationship?
I would say economic.
Economic.
Yeah.
And then when a new product comes to market, would you be one to accept a risk and try to get a competitive edge?
You'll tell me. I don't want to tell you too much. I
Okay.
want to see your product first.
And then lastly, is there anybody else in your operation that I need to talk to when it comes to making decisions on it?
Okay.
All right, well today I'm here with Precision Planning. And firstly, I'd just like to start off by saying that I think the products offered by Precision Planning are some of the best technological advancements in the agricultural industry. The reason that I full-heartedly believe that is because farmers are always, such as you, are always worried about the end of the year. What were their yields and how much grain can they take to market? But all of our products are based off the beginning of it, because we believe that if you can't start the beginning of the year with maximum potentials and your yields, then you're behind from the get-go. So firstly, can you tell me a little bit more about your operation?
Yeah, I've got about 1,000 mama cows now, 5,000 acres. Originally, I was looking at about 1-to-10 ratio, but trying to grow it where obviously now it's more 1-to-5. But with that, I've got to supplement quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Are you constantly looking for new ways to feed your cattle?
Yeah, where it makes sense.
In what ways do you currently use your farming operation to help feed your cattle operation?
We supplement, and then we've got some round bells that we have to bring in as well, and depending on water patterns and how we're doing.
Good. May's coming up pretty soon. Are y'all getting ready to start harvesting wheat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about double cropping behind your winter wheat?
I haven't. So
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Okay. Well, actually, I have a product that I think can help you do that today, as well as in other operations of your row crop farm. But first, I'd like to present you the product. So today, we have Delta Force by Precision Planning. Delta Force is a hydraulic cylinder that replaces these conventional springs on your row crop planter. Now, what those conventional springs was when you got to a field, you would get out of the tractor and you would set those conventional springs manually to a constant pressure. And then as you moved across that field, that constant pressure was applied no matter if there was a change in soil type or soil condition. What our hydraulic cylinder is able to do is change pressure 200 times per second based on soil type and soil condition. This is able to have a constant soil depth, constant seed depth in the soil, getting rid of that variability in seed depth. Now, one way that I can make that work for you is when we talk about double cropping.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
In stubble for wheat stubble. Now, there's quite a few problems when you try to plant into wheat stubble. Not only is it 8 to 10 inches tall, but it's often drilled, and those root balls are really close together. So it takes a lot of pressure to be able to get that seed in an adequate depth for it to germinate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, double cropping behind wheat has been something that's been going on for years, but often before a product such as ours, you had to go in there and till before you were able to plant into it. Now, not only do I have a few economic factors such as labor and fuel costs that I can help you save by incorporating our product so you don't have to till. Another thing about when you till is you're adding air to your soil.
Mm-hmm.
So that's drying out that top 2 to 3 inches of your soil, as well as when you knock this wheat stubble down, when it was still standing, it's shading out the ground. So less sun is getting to your soil surface, causing for less soil to dry out. Now, let's talk about feeding your cattle. So my idea for you is that when we double crop behind this winter wheat, we're gonna grow those soybeans for grazing. Now, when you say grazing, often people just think that I'm grazing those soybeans strictly, I'm growing those soybeans strictly just for grazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case here. It is actually proven that if you graze soybeans if you graze cattle on soybeans, it can increase your yields by 15%. So not only are you giving your cows a high source of protein that's a supplementary feed, you can increase the yields by 15% and still harvest those.
So is that light grazing, or, you know, because my fear is I'll end up with them eating it down to the soil?
No. So they actually they can't consume too much of it. So with these fields strategically placed, you'll be able to have them open them up into these large areas, and they'll graze as they like, and then be able to return back to their pastures and their water and be able to eat.
That makes sense.
Do you have any further questions on how this can help you as your cattle operation?
What about variations in the land? I've got a lot of dry land, and we've got some barriers that are tilled in place to control water and so on. Is that going to be a problem with this product?
So, like I said, I think if you would let me work with you on strategically placing these fields where we plant that winter wheat in those areas where we can help you with that, because if you said there is some barriers, maybe we don't plant the entire field in soybeans, we just plant that bottom half where you're still able to supplement your cattle feeding, but also leave that upper end to keep from erosion and
I like that. That's
Yeah.
a good concept.
Now, are you familiar with emergence and how detrimental it can be to crop yields in row crops?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with have you ever seen any research on it?
I have not actually, other than what I've done on my own, but yeah.
Okay, so this is actually, this was done out at the AgriLife Extension Farm down in the Brazos Valley. Here, this picture, you can see we have two corn plants up out of the ground that have probably been up for about 36 to 48 hours. And where my finger is pointing, there's one just beginning to bust out of the ground. Okay? This is detrimental when it comes to corn yields. The reason being is because these two neighboring plants are about 36 to 48 hours ahead of that plant, so leading to bigger root systems all the way throughout the year, so that's going to steal water, nutrients from this crop here. So these plants need to come up within about 12 hours of each other. So if we look at the end of the year now, and we look at day one, you can obviously begin to see where these plants begin to fall off. So those are those that are still in that 24 hours, but not within that 12-hour window. And then as we move further and further down, you know, to day 2, day 3, and day 5, those crops they're detrimental to your yield throughout the field. And our system being able to mitigate these crops from being too deep or too light, and what I mean by too deep or too light is this plant here was either too deep into the soil, where it took longer to get up out of the ground, or it was too shallow where it wasn't in enough moisture so it couldn't germinate at the same time. So by our product being able to move 200 times per second, foot by foot throughout the field based on soil type and soil condition, we're going to be able to mitigate this and get you a more even stand throughout your fields. This, through a 4-year study that we've done, we've been able to increase yields on average of 8.7 bushels per acre.
Okay.
So I did a little cost breakdown for you. So like I just said, we can on average increase our yields by 8.7 bushels per acre at a market rate of about $4.28 for corn right now. That's about a $37.24 increase per acre. Now, today for you, our price per unit is about $750. I would like for you to start by putting this on your 8-row corn planter. So that comes out to about $6,000. Now, if we were to divide that $6,000 by this $37 increase per acre, I can make these units pay for themselves in just 161 acres of corn.
Interesting. Do you have any sort of guarantees or insurance behind your product?
No, sir.
Okay.
No. I would just like to hit one more time on the benefits of reducing costs by supplementing your feed, as well as increasing your soybean yields for 15%, and then increasing your row crops by 8.7 bushels per acre. And if you would like to buy this product today, as well as, I don't know if you would consider this your guarantee, but I did bring a loyalty agreement where I'm willing to sign this, where I can guarantee you those 3 benefits that I just offered.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So I'd like to sign this and keep this with you, as well as my phone number, as well as your business card, so that if if my product doesn't satisfy you, I can work with you to figure some compensation out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very good. Hey, appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.